Maybe. Hello, fam. It is I, Brandon, coming back at you again with today's Off the Cuff. And today we're going to be talking about why it is so hard, why we struggle to get started, and a couple of things that we can do to kind of alleviate the troubles of getting started. So, first of all, before I get into it, I would like to thank everybody who has been watching my videos. I love you all. You are the best people. I hope you watch all the way to the end every time, but if you don't, I understand. It's a busy world. Second, if you would please, it would help me so much if you could like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm trying to come out pretty much every day with an off the cuff on a relevant and important subject that's just on my mind. So today is getting started. So first of all, let's talk about why it is so difficult to get started. See, I think the biggest problem that we face when we are trying to get started on a task, an important goal, maybe a new relationship, just anything that we're trying to start, is because of our comfort zone. Most of us live inside this tiny little bubble of known quantities that we call our comfort zone, right? You know, you have a group of people that you are comfortable with. You like spending time with them. You like doing things with them because you know them. You know how they're going to react. You know how they're going to talk. You know what they're going to say. You know how they're going to feel about anything that you say or do. So you like hanging out with them. It's comfortable. Same thing with a job. You might be in a job that you hate, but you're comfortable there because you know what your boss is going to expect. You know the kind of customers you're going to have to deal with. You know, it's about the things that you know. And the comfort zone is, at least in my humble opinion, one of the worst places that we can live. Because no one ever truly grows and develops until they step outside of their comfort zone. And the thing about the comfort zone is we can always go back to the comfort zone. All right? If we step out of it and we don't like where we end up, we can retreat back into the comfort zone. It's always going to be there. So you shouldn't worry about not stepping outside of it. Now, the next biggest thing I believe is like just a horrible like trap that we fall into that makes it difficult to get started on something is self-limiting beliefs. Now, we all have these. Every last one of us. It can be, I can't lose weight. It can be, I'm not smart enough. It can be anything that you believe about yourself that's simply not true. We are all capable of anything. We can do anything that we put our minds to. But these self-limiting beliefs can and will hinder our progress once we are started and make it very difficult to get started because they make us fear the act of doing the thing we want to start. You know, I've talked multiple times about wanting to be a writer, right? But I have a self-limiting belief that I'm no good at it. So when I sit down in front of the blank page, instead of the creativity flowing, the first thought that comes across my mind is, why are you wasting your time? No one's going to like this. No one's going to read this. Why bother? That's a self-limiting belief because I know people personally who very much enjoy the things that I write and are constantly asking me when I'm going to write more. So if I was horrible at it, nobody would exist that would say those things. And I just wanted to cover that. I think those are the two main factors that make it difficult to get started on something and to continue doing it. Staying inside of our comfort zone and believing our self-limiting beliefs. Basically believing our own bullshit. Because that's all it is. And the easiest way to take care of that is to just stop believing our own bullshit. All right. With the whys out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to a couple of tips that can help us to get started. The biggest one, in my opinion, is that we need to really sit down, think about, and consider exactly what we want. Not a broad generalization, right? I say, I want to be a writer, but that's a broad generalization. What I should really say is that I want to write this book about this subject. See, that gives me a specific want, which creates something that I can actively work toward. As long as I am writing toward that goal, it would be easier to start. Because to just say, a little rambly, I'm sorry, an example in the writing thing, to say, I want to be a writer. Well, if I don't have a clear idea in my head, what am I going to write? Of course it's going to be difficult to start because I don't know. Instead of sitting down and writing, I get paralysis by analysis. So sometimes I guess the best thing to do is to just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Just start. That seems a little condescending. You're here for actual tips. But okay, that was tip number one. Have a clear idea of exactly what you want. Tip number two, research and plan. But be careful. I did just mention paralysis by analysis. At a certain point, you have to stop researching, because researching is the great trap. It is a distraction. It's a lot like cleaning. I'm not saying you shouldn't clean your house, but there are times when you have something that you want to do, but you don't want to get started, so you just start cleaning your house, because cleaning your house is a productive act. It is something that needs to be done, but you're not doing it because that's what you want to do or because it's what needs to be done. You're doing it because you're trying to avoid starting the thing that you want to do. Research falls into the same category, but up to a point, it's good because it helps you to narrow down that specific goal, that specific want. And then after you've done your research, lay out a plan. I'm going to write 2,000 words every other day from here until I finish a book, right? That's a plan. You've researched what you want to write about. You've put a plan into place. And now you just follow the plan. All right. Number three, honestly, what's the worst that could happen? Right? That thing that you want to start. If you started it, what is the worst that could happen? You fail? So what? People fail all the time. You succeed. Amazing. Good job. Someone makes fun of you. They're going to make fun of you anyway. People don't need a reason to make fun of you. They will make up their reasons to make fun of you. So we need to ask ourselves, what's the worst that can happen? Anytime that you are having a fear of getting started, what's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? These are important things, and they will help to kind of break the negative train of thought and redirect the positive train of thought, which will allow you to get started. Number four, Make it as easy as possible. Going back to the riding analogy, which I know this is supposed to be a weight loss journey, and it is. All of these things apply to anything that you want to start or do. So, back to the riding analogy. Let's make it easy. We've set a clear goal. We've researched it. We've planned it. We've asked ourselves, what's the worst that can happen? And now, we need to make it easy for ourselves to follow the plan. If you're going to be riding by hand, some people like to do that. I don't. I'm a keyboard typer. Of course, I'm a keyboard typer. What other kind of typer would you be? But let's say, just for analogy's sake, you're going to write with a pencil and paper. So, find yourself a place in your house that you're comfortable. Set it up for writing. Put your little work desk there, or your lap desk, or whatever you're going to be using to write. Put your pad of paper, put your pencil there, right? So that when it comes time that you have given yourself, the allotted time you have set, that you don't have to find the pencil, you don't have to find the paper, you don't have to find a place to write. You've already got one, assigned. You've got the pencil ready, the paper ready. You're just ready to go. And that is the most important aspect, I think, of getting started after you have come up with a clear goal, is making it easy to get started. Same thing with if you're using a keyboard, right? If you're using your computer, there's all kinds of programs out there that you can download and set up that will make some websites unusable at certain times of the day and so forth. There are things that you can use to eliminate distractions and all that, so that when it comes time to get started on what you want to do, you've made it as easy on yourself to focus on that subject. Number 5, get excited about what you want to do. Get excited about it. The day before, you're going to sit down and start writing. The day before, you're going to start writing those 2,000 words. Or the day before, you're going to start a new exercise program. The day before, you're going to go out on your first date with this new person. Spend as much of that day just psyching yourself up, right? Excited. And then when the moment comes, you're just going to dive right in. You've primed yourself for starting. So, get pumped. Yeah! Get excited about it. Number 6, find encouragement from anybody that will give it to you. Like I said earlier, there are several people who love the things that I write and are constantly asking me when I'm going to write more. These are the kind of people that you want in your life. And not every person that you have in your life is going to be one of those people. And it is a hard truth and it is a hard fact. But sometimes when we have a goal that we want to achieve, there are certain people that we just cannot associate with as much as we used to. Find the people who encourage you. Find the people who support you. Find the people who believe you can succeed. And associate with those people as much as possible. Number 7, Nike wasn't wrong. Just do it. Like, it's really one of the greatest slogans a company has ever come up with to sell their product. Just do it. You've got everything set up. You've made it easy. You've got people encouraging you. You've got a plan. You've done your research. Just do it. We need to just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be done. You can worry about making it great, making it good after it is done. That is a second step. That has nothing to do with getting started. And here's an honest fact. Most of the things that you start doing, you're not going to be good at them when you start doing them. Because you've never done them before, or you've done them very little. And you should not compare yourself to other people who do those things, because those people may have been doing them for years. You should only worry about you and you getting started. All right, number 8. Are we on number 8? Number 8, time management. This one is less of a philosophical one, more of an actual like skill that you need to develop. Because you can get all philosophical about it and say time is just a construct of the human species that doesn't actually exist, but it does. It exists for us. We have clocks. It's 2:49 right now. I'm supposed to be at work at 3 o'clock. So I use time management skills to give myself enough time to get from my house to work. And I don't personally have like a journal or a schedule or a planner or anything like that I use. Generally, I'll wake up in the morning, I will say to myself, all right, I have to be at work at 3 o'clock, which means I need to leave the house by 2:20, which means I need to get dressed at 2:10, which means I need to be in the shower, and I'll just work my way back to whatever time it is. That tells me how much time I have. That gives me set points that I need to try to hit so that I stay on track, and just do this for everything that you want to do. This goes back to number 1, having a clear goal. What do you want to do? You need to know that before everything else works. All right, I think that is it. This is going to be another long video. I'm trying to be more informative. I'm trying to take less pauses, and I'm trying to ramble less. So down in the comments, let me know if you prefer me to be rambly or if you prefer a more focused and concise video. Thank you for watching, and if you've made it this far, go ahead. I know I asked at the beginning, but one more time, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell and all that jiggity jazz. And I have an Instagram now. It is at Brandon.Colonel29, and it's new, it's fledgling, there's not a lot on there, but please follow me there as well. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. As always, go forth and be good humans.